What do we need to crochet this summer top? 3 balls of cotton. I used Scheepjes Katona. This is the label. If you choose a different yarn, then you can calculate what yarn you need and how much yarn you need. Crochet hook, US size is a D crochet hook. European size is a 3mm crochet hook. 1.5mm crochet hook for crocheting the rings. 12 rings with a diameter of 8mm. Scissors, needle and stitch markers. So let's get started. You start by measuring the middle of a well-fitting bra to the bottom, if you make the top for someone else, or your own breast from the nipple to the bottom of your breast. And I measured, this is about 7 centimeters, is 2.76 inches. And now we're going to crochet a chain with the length we just measured. I think it's about a chain of 20. Chain of 20. Turning chain. Now we're going to crochet 20 single crochets back. That's row 2. Row 2 is 20 single crochets, so in every stitch a single crochet. And we just crocheted the turning chain, so we start in the second chain, in second stitch from your crochet hook. So in every chain a single crochet, and at the end you have 20 single crochet. And I'll see you at the end of this row. Single crochet, turning chain, we turn our work, and also now we're going to crochet 20 single crochet, so in every stitch a single crochet. And I'll see you at the end of this row. So in every stitch a single crochet, at the end you have 20 single crochets. That was row 3. Now we're going further with row 4. And from now we will continue crocheting. So we're going up with 20 single crochets. At the top of the bar we're going to crochet 3 single crochets, and then back also 20 single crochets. Also at the end of row 3 a turning chain. We're going 20 single crochets up. So in every stitch a single crochet. Almost there. And 20. Now we're at the top of the bar. Now we're going to find the middle of that bar. And there we're going to crochet 3 single crochet. in one stitch. So 1, 2 and 3, and in the middle of those 3 single crochets we're gonna put in a stitch marker, so in the middle. And now we're gonna crochet 20 single crochets back to the bottom of the bar, and where the stitch marker is the top of the cup. So now 20 single crochets back. 1, 2, and I see you at the end of those 20 single crochet. And then we're going further with row 5. So in every stitch a single crochet back on the other side of that bar that you just crocheted. We're at the end of row 4, turning chain. We turn our work. So from now on we're gonna working to the stitch marker. That is the top of the cup, and in the stitch of the stitch marker we're gonna crochet 3 single crochets and then put the stitch marker back in the middle again, and then in every stitch a single crochet back to the bottom of the cup. So we're gonna crochet 21 single crochets, so in every stitch a single crochet. 1, 2, and I see you at when we're at the stitch marker. So 21 single crochets, in every stitch a single crochet. Now we're at the stitch marker, and in the stitch of the stitch marker we're going to crochet 3 single crochet. 1, 2, 3. Put the stitch marker back in the middle again. And now 21 single crochets to the bottom of the top of the cup. So back again. 21 single crochet, in every stitch a single crochet. And see you at the end of row 5. It's the end of row 5, turning chain, turn our work, row 6, 22 single crochets, in every stitch a single crochet, and at the top again 3 single crochet. So 22 single crochets to the top of the cup, in every stitch a single crochet. And I see you when we're at the top of the cup. We're at the top, and then again in the stitch of the stitch marker we're going to crochet 3 single crochet. 1, 2, 3. Put the stitch marker in the middle again, and now 22 single crochets back to the bottom of the cup. And see you at the end of row 6. At the end of row 6, turning chain, and we're going further with row 7. Now we're going to crochet 23 single crochet, so in every stitch a single crochet to the stitch marker. So 23 single crochets, and see you when we're at the stitch marker. We're at the stitch marker. In that stitch we're going to crochet 3 single crochet. 1, 2, 3. Put the stitch marker back again in the middle. And a further 23 single crochet, so in every stitch single crochet to the bottom of the cup. And I see you at the end of row 7. We're at the end of row 7, turning chain, and we're going further with row 8. Row 8, 24 single crochet up till the stitch marker. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23 single crochet, so in every stitch a single crochet to the bottom of the cup. And I see you at the end of row 7. We're at the end of row 8, row 8, 24 single crochet up till the stitch marker. So 24 single crochet in every stitch, single crochet, and I see you when we're at the stitch marker. At the stitch marker, in the stitch of the stitch marker, we're going to crochet 3 single crochet, 1, 2, and 3, and in the middle back again the stitch marker. Now we're going to crochet 24 single crochets further, so in every stitch a single crochet, and see you at the end of row 8. 24 single crochets back. We're at the end of row 8, turning chain, turn a work, we're going further with row 9, 25 single crochet, up again, so 25 single crochet in every stitch a single crochet, and I see you at the stitch marker. 25 single crochet. We're at the top of the cup, and in the stitch of the stitch marker we're going to crochet 3 single crochet, 1, 2, 3, put a stitch marker in the middle again, and then again 25 single crochet down to the cup. So in every stitch a single crochet, and I see you at the end of row 9. We're at the end of row 9, turning chain, and going further with row 10, 26 single crochets. So in every stitch a single crochet towards the stitch marker. So 26 single crochet. We're at the stitch marker. In the stitch marker, in the stitch of the stitch marker, we're going to crochet 3 single crochets. So 1, 2, and 3. And in the middle again, put the stitch marker back in the middle. Now further 26 single crochet to the bottom of the cup, and I see you at the end of row 10. At the end of row 10, turning chain, I'm going further with row 11, 27 single crochet in every stitch a single crochet towards the stitch marker. I see you when we're at the stitch marker. So 27 single crochets in every stitch a single crochet. We're at the stitch marker. In the stitch marker we're going to crochet 3 single crochet, 1, 2, 3, and we put the stitch marker back again in the middle of those 3 single crochet, and then back again to the bottom of the cup, 27 single crochet in every stitch a single crochet, and I see you at the end of row 11. It's 27 single crochet. We're at the end of row 11, turning chain, I'm going further with row 12, 28 single crochet in every stitch a single crochet towards the stitch marker. So 28 single crochet, and see you when we're at the stitch marker. We're at the point of the stitch marker. 3 single crochet in one stitch, 1, 2, 3, put stitch marker back in the middle of those 3, then 28 single crochets to the bottom of the cup. So in every stitch a single crochet, 28 single crochet, and see at the end of row 12. We're at the end of row 12, turning chain, we turn our work, row 13, 29 single crochet in every stitch a single crochet towards the stitch marker. So I see when we're at the stitch marker, 29 single crochet in every stitch a single crochet. We're at the point where the stitch marker is. So in that stitch we're going to crochet 3 single crochet, 1, 2, 3, and put a stitch marker back in the middle again. Now 29 single crochet back to the bottom of the cup. 29 single crochet in every stitch, a single crochet, and see you at the end of row 13. We're at the end of row 13. Turning chain, I'm going further with row 14. 30 single crochet in every stitch, a single crochet towards the stitch marker. So in every stitch, a single crochet, 30 single crochets, and I see you when we're at the stitch marker. We're at the stitch marker. 3 single crochet in that stitch. So 3 single crochet in one stitch, 1, 2, 3, and we turn the stitch marker back in the middle of those 3 single crochet. Back again to the bottom of the cup, 30 single crochet in every stitch, a single crochet, and I see you at the end of row 14. So 30 single crochets in every stitch, a single crochet. Turning chain, and we turn our work, row 15. 31 single crochet in every stitch, a single crochet towards the stitch marker. So 31 single crochet, and see you when we're at the point where the stitch marker is. We're at the point where the stitch marker is. 3 single crochet in one stitch. 1, 2, and 3. Turn back the stitch marker in the middle of those 3 single crochet. Now back again, 31 single crochet in every stitch, a single crochet, and see you at the end of row 15. So 31 single crochet in every stitch, a single crochet. Turning chain, and we're going further with row 16. 32 single crochet in every stitch, a single crochet towards the stitch marker, and I see you when we're at the point where the stitch marker is. So 32 single crochet in every stitch, a single crochet. We're at the point of the stitch marker. 3 single crochet in one stitch. 1, 2, and 3. And put the stitch marker back again in the middle. Now back again, 32 single crochet. So 32 single crochet in every stitch, a single crochet, and I see you at the end of row 60. We're going further with row 17. I want the tip of the cup, so the top of the cup, a little bit rounder. So what will I do? We're gonna crochet 2 single crochet in the stitch before the stitch marker, and 2 single crochet after in one stitch after the stitch marker, and where the stitch of the stitch marker, just 1 single crochet, and that also remains the middle of the cup. So row 17, here we go. Now we're gonna crochet 32 single crochet in every stitch, a single crochet towards the stitch marker. So turning chain, turn our work, row 17, 32 single crochet in every stitch, a single crochet, and see when we're at the point of 32 single crochet. So in every stitch, a single crochet until you have 32 single crochets. We just crocheted 32 single crochets. Now we're at the point in the stitch before the stitch marker. We're gonna crochet 2 single crochet. 1, 2. At the point where the stitch marker is, we're gonna crochet 1 single crochet. So 1, and we put the stitch marker back in that stitch. This is the center of the cup. Stitch after the stitch marker, we're gonna crochet again 2 single crochet in one stitch. 1, 2, and now back again, 32 single crochet to the bottom of the cup. So 32 single crochet, 1, 2, in every stitch a single crochet, and see you at the end of row 17. So 32 single crochets. Turning chain, turn and work, row 18, 33 single crochets. In every stitch a single crochet, and I see you when we're at the point of 33 single crochets. So 33 single crochets in every stitch a single crochet. And then I see you when we're at 33 single crochets. Right. We just crocheted 33 single crochets. In the next stitch we're gonna crochet 2 single crochets in one stitch. 1, 2. In the stitch of the stitch marker, just 1 single crochet. Put the stitch marker back. In the stitch after the stitch marker, 2 single crochet in one stitch. 1, 2. And now 33 single crochets back again. So in every stitch a single crochet, 33 single crochet, and see you at the end of row 18. Turning chain, and we turn our work, row 19. 34 single crochets in every stitch a single crochet, and see you when we're at the point of 34. So 34 single crochets in every stitch a single crochet. 34 single crochets. In the next stitch we're going to crochet 2 single crochets in one stitch. 1, 2. At the point of the stitch marker we're going to crochet 1 single crochet and put the stitch marker back again in that stitch. In the stitch after the stitch marker we're going to crochet 2 single crochet in one stitch. 1, 2, and then back again. 34 single crochet. So in every stitch again a single crochet, and see you at the end of row 19. We're at the end of row 19. Turning chain, and we turn our work, row 20. 35 single crochet. So in every stitch a single crochet, and I see you when we're at the number 35. So 35 single crochet in every stitch a single crochet. 35 single crochets. We're in the stitch before the stitch marker. There we're going to crochet 2 single crochets in one stitch. 1, 2. In the stitch with the stitch marker we're going to crochet 1 single crochet. Stitch marker back at this place. A stitch next to it, also 2 single crochets in one stitch. And then further again 35 single crochets in every stitch. So 35 single crochets in every stitch back to the bottom of this cup. 35 single crochet, and see you at the end of this row. Row 21 becomes a half a row. We crochet towards the stitch marker. We're gonna crochet the stitch of the stitch marker. That remains also the top of the cup. Slip stitch in a stitch next to it, turning chain, and then 38 single crochets back, and then fasten off. So let's start. Row 21. Turning chain. 38 single crochets all the way up to the cup, to the stitch marker. So 38 single crochets in every stitch a single crochet, and see you when we're at number 38. We're almost there. The stitch of the stitch marker is number 38. Put the stitch marker back. It remains the top of the cup. Next to the stitch marker a slip stitch, turning chain, and we turn our work. And now we're going to crochet 38 single crochets back. So the first one, stitch marker back again in the first stitch, and then 2, 3, in every stitch single crochet back. 38 single crochets at the end of this row. This is row 22, the way back. And see you when we're at the bottom of the cup. Last stitch is 38 and we're fast enough. You're going to crochet 2 of these cups, and then the extra edges you just crocheted. So this one, the extra line, this will be facing each other when you crocheted them together. So this is how we're gonna crochet those 2 cups together. We're going to measure the straps of the summer top. When measuring, make sure that the cup is in place. This can be done by having the person hold the cup in place. We're going to measure the shoulder strap from the top of the cup over the shoulder to the shoulder blade. And my daughter's size is about 34 centimeters. And then the band size is from the side of the cup just past the armpit. And my daughter's size is about 11 centimeters. Why I measure so short is because there's stretch in the work. And if I measure all the way from the top of the cup all the way to the back size, the straps would be too loose. So we measure top of the cup from the top of the cup to the shoulder blade, and the band size from the side of the cup just past the armpit. We're going to crochet a chain with the length you just measured for the band size. I need a chain 30 for the length that I need. So 30, and I'll see you when we're at the chain with 30 stitches. Chain 30, we pick up the first cup. Make sure that the extra border, so this line, becomes on the side of your décolleté neckline. So it becomes like this. For the first cup, we're gonna crochet at the chain you just crocheted with all single crochets along the bottom of your cup. And I need 39 single crochets for the size that I have. So all single crochets along the bottom of the cup. And I'll see you when we're at this point. Between the cups we're going to crochet a chain 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. In the middle of those 5 stitches we put a stitch marker. So 1, 2, in the third chain we're gonna put a stitch marker. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah. Then you pick up the other cup. Border on the inside, on the neckline. And we continue crocheting along the bottom with single crochets. And also 39, the same the same number of stitches as you crocheted on this cup, on the first cup. So in my case is that 39 single crochets. And I'll see you when we're at this point again. We crocheted the 2 cups together. Now we're going to crochet the band size again, the same length as you started this project with. So in my case, a chain of 30. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I see you when we're at that point. When you have crocheted your chain, turning chain, then the same way back, all single crochets in each stitch a single crochet. We start in the second stitch of your crochet hook. So in every stitch a single crochet, and I see you when we're back at the cup again. So the way back, in every stitch a single crochet. Now along the outside of the cup, we're going to crochet all single crochets, in every stitch a single crochet, all the way up to the cup, to the top of the cup. In every stitch a single crochet. So on the outside of the cup. So this size all the way up to the top, and then we're gonna go further with the shoulder straps. The stitch of the stitch mark, you also crochet a single crochet and put the stitch marker back. Now we're gonna crochet the shoulder strap, and you crochet a chain in the length that you just measured for your shoulder. In my case is that 34 centimeters. So a chain with a length of 34 centimeters in my case. And I see you when we're at the point that you have your length of the shoulder strap. I needed a chain of 85 stitches, so now we're going to crochet a turning chain. And then we'll go back again with 85 single crochets. So in every stitch a single crochet started from the second stitch of your crochet hook. So 85 single crochets back to the top of the cup, of the first cup. So in every stitch a single crochet. See you when we're at the point of the top of the cup. Now along the inside of the cup, we're going to crochet in each stitch a single crochet, and we started in the stitch of the stitch marker. So there will be 2 single crochets in that stitch. In my case is that 38 single crochets all the way down to the cup. So in every stitch a single crochet, and see when we're at the bottom of the cup. We are now at the chain between the 2 cups. In this chain we work 5 single crochets, so in each stitch a single crochet. And then put the stitch marker back again in the middle of those 5 stitches. So in every stitch a single crochet. These are the chain 5, and every stitch we're going to crochet a single crochet. 1, 2, 3, and that's the middle of this chain, and then the last 2, 4 and 5. Now we're going along the inside of the second cup, into each stitch a single crochet up to the top again. So now we actually repeat exactly the same thing as we did with the first cup. So 38 single crochets up, in every stitch a single crochet. And see you when we're at the top of the cup. We're at the top of the second cup, now we're going to crochet the second shoulder strap. In my case is that a chain of 85 stitches, exactly the same as we did with the first shoulder strap. So a chain of 85. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and I see you when we're at 85 stitches. We just crocheted a chain of 85 stitches. Now we're going to crochet a turning chain, and now back in every stitch a single crochet. Started in the second stitch of the crochet hook because of that turning chain. So 85 single crochets in every stitch a single crochet, back to the top of the cup, and I see you when we're at that point. We're at the top of the second cup, and now we're going to crochet along the outside of the second cup on this side. In each stitch a single crochet, and I need 40 single crochets for the size that I need. So started in the stitch of the stitch marker, and I put the stitch marker back. I also did this on the other side. So this is one, and then 40 single crochets back down to the bottom of the cup. In every stitch a single crochet. This 2, 3, and I see you when we're at the bottom of this second cup. So along the outside of the cup, in every stitch a single crochet. We're at the band strap, the second one, and exactly like the other side, 30 single crochets. So in each stitch a single crochet, and then we finished row 1. So in every stitch a single crochet. I'll see you at the end of this row. We're at the end of row 1. Now we go all the way around one more time with all single crochets. And along the bottom of the top, we're gonna crochet in every stitch a single crochet. We crocheted on the size band a chain of 30, so we're gonna crochet here 30 single crochets, 39 single crochets, 5 single crochets, 39 single crochets, and 30 single crochets. And this all the way we go back with the same amount of stitches that you just crocheted all the way around your top. So we're gonna start. We enter row 1 with a chain 1. Row 2, in every stitch a single crochet. Along the bottom of the top, in every stitch a single crochet. I just crocheted those one, so I need the next one. 30 single crochets of the side band. The bottom of the top 39 single crochets, between the two cups 5 single crochets, then the second cup, the bottom of the second cup 39 single crochets, and then again the size band 30 single crochets. So we'll see you at the end of the bottom of the top. So all single crochets in every stitch is single crochet. A little tip: use stitch markers so you know where your amount of stitches from each side of the top begins and ends. At the side of the cups, inside of the cups, I have stitch markers from the first stitch to the last stitch, so I know that I have the same number of stitches everywhere. A little tip. When you have crocheted your numbers of single crochets at the bottom of the summer top, for me that was 143 single crochets. Now we're going to crochet further at the top of the band strap. So this becomes for me also 30 single crochets, and see when we're at the point of the first stitch marker. 30 single crochets. First we start with a chain 1, and now we're going to crochet 30 single crochets. So in every stitch a single crochet, and also put in the first stitch a stitch marker. 30 single crochets, that's for me the number that I have to crochet. And I see you when we're at this point. So the band size, the band strap size, in every stitch a single crochet. Put the stitch marker back as place, 30 single crochets, and in the last one I put the stitch marker. Now we're going to decrease 1. So we're going to crochet 2 stitches together, and we pick up the first loop of every stitch. 1 and the one next to it also. Now we're going to crochet those both together as one. Now for me 39 single crochets up to the top again. That's including the one we just crocheted. 2, 3, 4. So in every stitch a single crochet, and see when we're at the shoulder bands, shoulder straps. So in every stitch a single crochet all the way up. We're at the top of the summer top of the cup. Now we're going to crochet the shoulder strap. In every stitch a single crochet. For me is that 85 single crochets all the way up. So and I see you when we're at that point. So in every stitch a single crochet. In my case is that 85 single crochets in every stitch a single crochet. All the way to the top of the shoulder strap. In every stitch a single crochet, and I see you when we're at that point. We're at the top of the shoulder strap. We keep on crocheting, chain 1, and then in the first stitch a single crochet, and then all the way in every stitch a single crochet, and then all the way back to the top of the cup, on the inside of the cup. In my case is that 85 single crochets down. So in every stitch a single crochet, and I see you when we're at the point at the top of the cup. So in every stitch a single crochet down to the top of the cup. We're at the top of the cup, on the inside side of the cup. Now we're going to crochet 38 single crochets down, just before the 5 single crochets in the middle between the 2 cups. And this is the stitch where we end mine 38 single crochets, and then we're going to decrease 1. So 38 single crochets is the amount that I have for the inside of the cup. In every stitch a single crochet. So this is 1. I'll put the stitch marker back. "38 single crochets, 2, and I see when we're at the number 38. Every stitch single crochet. So we're at the point of the 5 stitches between the 2 cups. The first 2 of those 5 we're gonna decrease 1. So we take the first 2 loops of the stitches, one and 2, and crochet them together. Then the middle, just one crochet, one single crochet I mean. Put the stitch marker back again, because that stays the middle. And then the two next to it also decrease one. So we're going to crochet them also together. So the first two loops. And that's it. Now we're at the point of the second cup. And we're going to crochet them exactly like we did this one. So 38 all the way up. And then 85 single crochets all the way to the top of the shoulder strap, 85 back, and then the outside 39, and then we're gonna decrease also one. So for now 38, that's my amount of stitches all the way up to the top of the cup. And every stitch a single crochet. One, two, three, and I see you when we're at the top of the second cup. We're at the top again. Now we're gonna go further with the shoulder strap. In my case 85 single crochets all the way up. So in every stitch a single crochet, and see where we're when we're at the point of the top of the shoulder strap. So in every stitch a single crochet all the way up. We're at the top of the shoulder strap. I put a stitch mark in the last stitch. Now we're gonna crochet chain one. Now we're gonna crochet all the way back. In every stitch a single crochet, and then the outside of the cup, and then again the band strap. So for me is this also 85 single crochets, in every stitch a single crochet, and I see you when we're at the top of the cup again. So in every stitch a single crochet all the way down, and see you when we're at this point. Now we're going to crochet all the way down to the side band again. The two stitches before the stitch marker we're gonna crochet them together, so the decrease one. So in my case is that I need to crochet now 38 single crochets, so in every stitch a single crochet. This is number one. Stitch marker back again, 38 single crochets, in every stitch a single crochet, and see at the point where you're going to decrease one. 38 single crochets in my case, in every stitch a single crochet, and the two before the stitch marker we're going to crochet them together, these two. So I see you at that point, in every stitch a single crochet. I just crocheted 38 single crochets, so in every stitch single crochet. I am now before the two stitches before the stitch marker. We're going to crochet them together. So again, the first two loops from every stitch one, I will crochet them together. And that's it. We're at the side band again, the band strap, and now we're going to crochet 30 single crochets, in every stitch a single crochet, and this is number one. Put the stitch marker back again, and see when we're at the end of those side strap, the band strap. We're at the end of, almost at the end of row 2. We just crocheted 30 single crochets. Now we're gonna crochet just 1 single crochet in the middle of the band strap. That's just right here, 1 single crochet. And that's the end of row 2. Now we're going further with the bodice of the summer top. You can basically crochet the body in any stitch you like. The stitch I use is divisible by 6, so keep in mind that you have the right numbers of stitches for this pattern. The number of stitches I have is 143. We start with a single crochet in the first stitch, chain 2, 1, 2, and this continues for 1 double crochet. In the stitch next to it, we're gonna crochet a double crochet. Then we're gonna crochet a chain 3, 1, 2, 3, skip 3 stitches, 1, 2, 3, and in the fourth we're gonna crochet a double crochet. 1, 2, skip 3 stitches, and then in the fourth a double crochet. And another double crochet in the same stitch. So 2 double crochets in 1 stitch. The space we just crocheted now is for the rings. That's where the strap will go through on the back. These rings. This one I have just crocheted. At the end of the video I'll show you how to crochet and sew these rings into your work. Chain 1, skip 2 stitches, 1, 2, 1 single crochet in the third stitch, chain 1, skip 2 stitches, 1, 2, and then 3 double crochet in 1 stitch. 1, 2, 3. And that's why you're gonna repeat 20 more times. So chain 1, skip 2 stitches, 1 single crochet, chain 1, skip 2 stitches, and then 3 double crochets in 1 stitch. You repeat this 20 more times, and I'll see you at the end of those 20 times. When you have crocheted those 6 stitches 20 more times, then we're gonna go further with the last stitches of the first row. Chain 1, skip 2 stitches, 1, 2, 1 single crochet, chain 1, skip 2 stitches, and then 2 double crochet in 1 stitch. Chain 3, 1, 2, 3, skip 3 stitches, 1, 2, 3, and then in the last 2 stitches double crochet each. And this is row 1. Turning chain, and we turn our work, going further with a row 2. Row 2, we start with 2 half double crochet. 1 and 2, chain 1, in the middle of the chain space a half double crochet, chain 1 and a half double crochet, half double crochet, chain 1 and a half double crochet, chain 1. In the middle of the 2 double crochet of the previous round, we're going to crochet a single crochet, chain 1, and this is we're going to repeat this stitches 20 more times. So the chain 1, a double crochet, chain 1 and a double crochet in the single crochet of the previous round, chain 1, and then a single crochet on the double crochet in the middle of the double crochet of the previous round. And this is what we're gonna repeat 20 more times. So chain 1, a double crochet, chain 1 and a double crochet in 1 stitch on the single crochet of the previous round, chain 1, and then a single crochet in the middle of those 3 double crochets of the previous round. This is what we're gonna repeat 20 more times, and then I'll see you again when we've repeated these stitches 20 more times. We just repeated these 6 stitches 20 more times. Now we're gonna crochet the last stitches of row 2. Chain 1, in a single crochet, a double crochet, chain 1 and a double crochet, chain 1 and a double crochet in 1 stitch in the single crochet of the previous round. Chain 1, a single crochet between the 2 double crochet of the previous round. Chain 1, in the middle of the chain space of the previous round, a half double crochet, chain 1 and a half double crochet, chain 1, then in the last 2 stitches also 2 half double crochet, 1, and in the last one also 1 half double crochet, turning chain. I'm going further with row 3. Row 3 starts with 2 half double crochets in the first 2 stitches, 1, 2, chain 1, 1 single crochet between the 2 half double crochets of the previous round, chain 1, 2 double crochets on the single crochet of the previous round, 1, 2, so 2 double crochets in 1 stitch. This is how it's going to look like. Chain 1, and this is what we're going to repeat 20 more times. Chain 1, 1 single crochet in the chain space between the 2 double crochets of the previous round, chain 1, and then 3 double crochets in the single crochet of the previous round. And this is what we're going to repeat 20 more times, and then see you when we have repeated those 6 stitches 20 more times. So chain 1, 1 single crochet, chain 1, and then 3 double crochet. The last stitches of row 3, chain 1, a single crochet in the chain space between the 2 double crochets, chain 1, 2 double crochets on the single crochet from the previous round, 1, 2, chain 1, 1 single crochet between the 2 in the chain space between the 2 double crochet, half double crochet, so between the 2 half double crochet, chain 1, and then the last 2 stitches 2 half double crochet, 1, and 2, turning chain, and we turn our work. Row 4, we start with 2 double crochet, 1, 2, chain 3, 1, 2, 3, no, skip 3 stitches. So this is a stitch, this is 1, this is a stitch, is 2, and this is a stitch, is 3. Now we're going to crochet a double crochet between the 2 double crochets of the previous round. Voila. The stitches that we now going to crochet after those 6 stitches, we're going to repeat these 20 more times. So that's the chain 1. On the single crochet of the previous round, we're going to crochet a double crochet, a chain 1, and a double crochet in the same stitch. So a double crochet, chain 1, and a double crochet, chain 1, and then a single crochet in the middle of those, on the middle of those 3 double crochet of the previous round. And these 6 stitches you're going to repeat 20 more times. So a chain 1, a double crochet, chain 1, and a double crochet on the single crochet of the previous round, and then a single crochet, chain 1 and then a single crochet on the middle of those 3 double crochets of the previous round. And see you when we're at the point that we crocheted 20 more times those 6 stitches. The last couple of stitches of row 4, chain 1, a double crochet and a chain 1 and a double crochet in the single crochet of the previous round. So a double crochet, chain 1 and a double crochet in one stitch, chain 1, then a double crochet between the 2 double crochets of the previous round, chain 3, 1, 2, 3, skip 3 stitches, 1, 2, 3, and then 2 double crochet. That's the end of row 4. Don't forget your turning chain after each row, and that's row 4. We start row 5 with 2 half double crochet, 1 and 2, in the chain 1. In the chain space, we're going to crochet a single crochet in the middle of the chain space, chain 1. On the double crochet of the previous round, we're going to crochet 2 double crochets, 1, 2, and the stitches that we're going to crochet now, we're going to repeat after those 6 stitches 20 more times. So a chain 1, 1 single crochet between the 2 double crochets of the previous round, chain 1, and then 3 double crochets on the single crochet of the previous round. So those 6 stitches you're going to repeat 20 more times. A chain 1, single crochet in the chain space between the 2 double crochets of the previous round, chain 1, and then 3 double crochets on the single crochet of the previous round. So now we're going to crochet again as chain 1, single crochet in the chain space between the 2 double crochets, chain 1, and then 3 double crochets on the single crochet of the previous round. And I'll see you when we're at the end of those 20 times. The last couple of stitches of row 5, chain 1, single crochet between the 2 double crochets of the previous round, so that's in the V-stitch, chain 1, 2 double crochets on the double crochet of the previous round, chain 1, single crochet in the middle of the chain space, chain 1, and 2 half double crochets on the last 2 stitches. Turning chain, and we turn and work. We start row 6 with 2 half double crochet, 1, 2, chain 1, a half double crochet, chain 1 and a half double crochet in one stitch on the single crochet of the previous round. So a half double crochet, chain 1 and a half double crochet in one stitch, chain 1, and then a single crochet between the 2 double crochets of the previous round. Chain 1, double crochet, chain 1 and a double crochet in one stitch on the single crochet of the previous round, chain 1, and then a single crochet in the middle of those 3 double crochets of the previous round, and those 6 stitches we're going to repeat them 20 more times. So a chain 1, double crochet, chain 1 and a double crochet in one stitch, chain 1, and then a single crochet in the middle of those 3 double crochets of the previous round. So now we're going to crochet chain 1 again, double crochet, chain 1, double crochet on the single crochet of the previous round, chain 1, and then a single crochet again in the middle of those 3 double crochets. So that's going to repeat 20 more times, and see you when we're at that point. The last couple of stitches of row 6, chain 1, double crochet, chain 1, and double crochet in 1 stitch, and that stitch is the single crochet of the previous round. Chain 1, single crochet between the 2 double crochets of the previous round, chain 1, a half double crochet, chain 1, and a half double crochet on the single crochet of the previous round, chain 1. Then we end this row with 2 half double crochets, so in each stitch, in the last 2 stitches, 2 half double crochet. Turn a chain and we turn a work. Row 7, we start with 2 double crochet, 1, 2, chain 3, 1, 2, 3. Now 2 double crochets on the single crochet of the previous round. That's this one. 2 double crochet, 1, 2, chain 1, single crochet between the 2 double crochets in the chain space of the previous round, chain 1. Now we're going to crochet 3 double crochets on the single crochet of the previous round, so this one, 1, 2, and 3. And these 6 stitches, so the chain 1, the single crochet between the 2 double crochets of the previous round, chain 1, and the 3 double crochets, we're going to repeat them 20 more times. So we start again with the chain 1, and then the single crochet in the chain space between the 2 double crochets, chain 1, and then 3 double crochets on the single crochet of the previous round. And see when we're at those 20 stitches, 20 times those 6 stitches. Last couple of stitches of row 7, chain 1, single crochet in the chain space between the 2 double crochets of the previous round, chain 1, 2 double crochets on the single crochet of the previous round, so 2 double crochet in 1 stitch, 1, 2, chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and then 2 double crochets on the last 2 stitches of this row. Turn a chain and we turn a work. Row 8, we start with 2 half double crochet, chain 1. In the middle of the chain space, we're going to crochet a half double crochet, chain 1, and a half double crochet, half double crochet, chain 1, and a half double crochet, chain 1. In the middle between the 2 double crochets, we're going to crochet a single crochet, chain 1. On the single crochet of the previous round, we're going to crochet a double crochet, chain 1, and a double crochet in 1 stitch, chain 1. In the middle of those 3 double crochets of the previous round, we're going to crochet a single crochet. A single crochet. And also now these stitches, the chain 1, the double crochet, chain 1, and the double crochet, chain 1, and the single crochet, we're going to crochet them 20 more times. So we start with the single crochet, with the chain 1, and then a double crochet, chain 1, and a double crochet on the single crochet of the previous round, chain 1, and then a single crochet again in the middle of those 3 double crochets. So and see when we're at that point, when we repeated those 6 stitches 20 more times. We're in the last couple of stitches of row 8, chain 1. On the single crochet of the previous round, we're going to crochet a double crochet, chain 1, and double crochet in 1 stitch. Chain 1 and a double crochet. Chain 1. In the between the 2 double crochets of the previous round, we're going to crochet a single crochet. Chain 1. In the chain space, we're going to crochet a half double crochet, chain 1 and a half double crochet. Chain 1, and we end this row with 2 half double crochets in the last 2 stitches. 1, and in the last one also 1. Turning chain, and going further with row 9. Row 9, 2 half double crochets on the first 2 stitches. Chain 1, 1 single crochet between the 2 half double crochet of the previous round, in this space. Chain 1, 2 double crochets on the single crochet of the previous round. 1, 2. And the 6 stitches that we're gonna crochet now, we're gonna repeat them 20 more times after when we crochet them. So that's a chain 1, single crochet between the 2 double crochets of the previous, in the chain space between the 2 double crochets of the previous round, chain 1, and now 3 double crochets on the single crochet of the previous round. And those 6 stitches, we're going to repeat them 20 more times. So chain 1, 1 single crochet between the 2 double crochet, in the chain space between the 2 double crochet of the previous round, chain 1, and then 3 double crochets on the single crochet of the previous round. And I see you when we're at that point, so 20 times. Last couple of stitches of row 9, chain 1, 1 single crochet between the 2 double crochets, in the chain space between the 2 double crochets of the previous round, chain 1, 2 double crochets on the single crochet of the previous round, chain 1, 1 single crochet between the 2 half double, in the chain space between the 2 half double crochets of the previous round, chain 1. Then we end this row with 2 half double crochets in the last 2 stitches. Turning chain, and we turn our work. Row 10, we start with 2 double crochets in the first 2 stitches. So in each stitch 1. Chain 3, 1, 2, 3. Now we're going to crochet a double crochet between the 2 double crochets of the previous round. And now we're going to crochet 6 stitches, and those 6 stitches we're going to repeat after we crocheted them 20 more times. So that's a chain 1, In the middle of the single crochet of the previous round, we're going to crochet a double crochet, chain 1 and a double crochet in 1 stitch. Chain 1, single crochet in the middle of the 3 double crochets of the previous round. And those 6 stitches, you can repeat them 20 more times. So a chain 1, double crochet, chain 1 and a double crochet in the on the single crochet of the previous round in 1 stitch, chain 1 and then 1 single crochet in the middle of those 3 double crochets of the previous round, and see you when we're at that point. So 20 more times. The last couple of stitches of row 10, chain 1, double crochet, chain 1 and double crochet on the single crochet of the previous round in 1 stitch, chain 1 and a double crochet, chain 1, a double crochet between the 2 double crochets of the previous round, chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and we end this row in the last 2 stitches with 2 double crochets on the half double crochets of the previous round. 1 and 2. Turning chain, and we're going further with row 11. Row 11, 2 half double crochets in the first 2 stitches, 2, chain 1, 1 single crochet in the middle of the chain space, chain 1, 2 double crochets on the double crochet of the previous round, 1 and 2. Now we're going to crochet 6 stitches, and those 6 stitches we're going to repeat after we crocheted them 20 more times. So that's a chain 1, 1 single crochet in the chain space between the 2 double crochets of the previous round. So that's it, chain 1, and then 3 double crochets on the single crochet of the previous round. 1, 2 and 3. And those 6 stitches we're going to repeat them 20 more times. So a single crochet, chain 1 between the 2 double crochets of the previous round, chain 1, and then 3 double crochet on the single crochet of the previous round, and see when we're at that point. Last couple of stitches of row 11, chain 1, 1 single crochet in the chain space between the 2 double crochets of the previous round, chain 1, 2 double crochets on the double crochets of the previous round in 1 stitch, chain 1, 1 single crochet in the middle of the chain space, chain 1, and we end this row with 2 half double crochets in the last 2 stitches. Turning chain, and we're going further with row 12. Row 12, we start with 2 half double crochets, in each stitch a half double crochet, chain 1, a half double crochet, chain 1 and a half double crochet on the single crochet of the previous round. So in 1 stitch, half double crochet, chain 1 and a half double crochet, chain 1, 1 single crochet between the 2 double crochets of the previous round. And these 6 stitches that we're going to crochet now, we're going to repeat after we crocheted them 20 more times. So a chain 1, 1 double crochet, chain 1 and a 1 double crochet on the single crochet of the previous round in 1 stitch. So double crochet, chain 1 and a double crochet in 1 stitch. That's on the single crochet of the previous round. Chain 1, 1 single crochet in the middle of those 3 double crochets of the previous round. And those 6 stitches, you're gonna repeat them 20 more times. So the chain 1, double crochet, chain 1, double crochet on the single crochet, chain 1, and 1 single crochet in the middle of the 3 double crochets. And see you when we're at that point. Last couple of stitches of row 12, chain 1. On the single crochet of the previous round, we're gonna crochet a double crochet, chain 1, and a double crochet. Chain 1. Between the 2 double crochets of the previous round, we're going to crochet a single crochet. Chain 1. On the single crochet of the previous round, we're going to crochet a half double crochet, chain 1, and a half double crochet in 1 stitch. So on the single crochet, half double crochet, chain 1, half double crochet, chain 1, and in the last two stitches, we're going to crochet 2 half double crochet in each stitch, 1 half double crochet. It's 1, and in the last one also 1. Turning chain, and we turn our work, and we're going further with row 13. Row 13, we start with 2 double crochets in the first 2 stitches, 2 double crochets, so 1 in 1 stitch and 1 in the stitch next to it, so 2 double crochet. Now yes, 2 double crochet, chain 3, 1, 2, 3. On the single crochet of the previous round, we're going to crochet 2 double crochets in 1 stitch, 1 and 2. Those 6 stitches that we're going to crochet now, we're going to repeat after we crocheted them 20 more times. And that's a chain 1, a single crochet in the chain space between the 2 double crochets of the previous round, chain 1, 3 double crochets on the single crochet of the previous round. And those 6 stitches, we're going to repeat them 20 more times, and I'll see you when we're at that point. So repeatedly, chain 1, single crochet on the chain space between the 2 double crochets, chain 1 and 3 double crochets on the single crochet. Last couple of stitches of row 13, chain 1, 1 single crochet in the chain space between the 2 double crochets of the previous round, chain 1, 2 double crochets on the single crochet of the previous round, 1, 2, chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and then in the last 2 stitches also 2 double crochets in every stitch 1. Turning chain, and we turn our work. Row 14, we start this row with 2 half double crochet in the first 2 stitches. In each stitch a half double crochet, 1, 2, chain 1. In the middle of the chain space, we're going to crochet a half double crochet, chain 1 and a half double crochet, chain 1. Between the 2 double crochets of the previous round, we're going to crochet a single crochet. And those 6 stitches that we're going to crochet now, we're going to repeat them 20 more times after we crocheted them. So a chain 1. On the single crochet of the previous round, we're going to crochet a double crochet, chain 1 and a double crochet in 1 stitch. So a double crochet, chain 1 and a double crochet on the single crochet of the previous round. Chain 1. In the middle of the 3 double crochets, we're going to crochet a single crochet. And those 6 stitches, we're going to repeat them 20 more times. And I'll see you when we're at that point. Last couple of stitches of row 14, chain 1. On the single crochet of the previous round, we're going to crochet a double crochet, chain 1 and a double crochet in 1 stitch. Chain 1, a single crochet between the 2 double crochets of the previous round, chain 1, a half double crochet, chain 1 and a half double crochet in the chain space, chain 1, and we end this row with 2 half double crochet in each stitch, a half double crochet, 1 and also 1 in the last stitch, turning chain, and we turn our work. Row 15, we start with 2 half double crochets in each stitch, a half double crochet in the first 2 stitches. That's 2, chain 1, a single crochet between the 2 half double crochets from the previous round, chain 1, 2 double crochets on the single crochet of the previous round, so in 1 stitch. The 6 stitches that we're gonna crochet now, we're gonna repeat them after we crocheted them 20 more times. So that's a chain 1, a single crochet between the 2 double crochets of the previous round, chain 1, now 3 double crochets on the single crochet of the previous round. Those stitches we're gonna repeat them 20 more times. So chain 1, single crochet, chain 1 and the 3 double crochets, and see when we're at that point, 20 more times. The last couple of stitches of row 15, chain 1, 1 single crochet between the 2 double crochets of the previous round, this one, chain 1, 2 double crochet on the single crochet of the previous round in 1 stitch, chain 1, single crochet in the chain space between the 2 half double crochets of the previous round, this one, chain 1 and 2 half double crochets in the last 2 stitches, chain 1, and we turn our work. Row 16, we start with 2 double crochets in the first 2 stitches, that's 1 and 1 next to it, chain 3, 1, 2, 3, now a double crochet between the 2 double crochets of the previous round, these 6 stitches that we're gonna crochet now, after we crocheted them, we're gonna repeat them 20 more times. So that's a chain 1, 1 double crochet, chain 1 and 1 double crochet on the single crochet of the previous round, so in 1 stitch, 1 double crochet, chain 1, 1 double crochet, chain 1, and then a single crochet in the middle of those 3 double crochets. And these stitches you're going to repeat 20 more times. So a chain 1, double crochet, chain 1 and double crochet on the single crochet of the previous round, chain 1, and then a single crochet in the middle of those 3 double crochets of the previous round. And see when we're at that point. The last couple of stitches of row 16, chain 1, a double crochet, chain 1 and a double crochet on the single crochet of the previous round in 1 stitch. So a double crochet, chain 1, double crochet, chain 1, 1 double crochet between the 2 double crochets of the previous round, chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and we end this row with 2 double crochets in the last 2 stitches. So in every stitch 1 double crochet. That's 1, and 2 turning chain. We start this row 17 with 2 half double crochet. That's 1, and in the stitch next to it is 2, chain 1 single crochet in the chain space, chain 1, 2 double crochets on the double crochet of the previous round. It's 1 and 2, chain 1, 1 single crochet between the 2 double crochets of the previous round, chain 1, and 3 double crochets on the single crochet of the previous round. That's 1, 2, and 3. And those 6 stitches, you're going to repeat them 20 more times. So the chain 1, the single crochet in the chain space between the 2 double crochets, chain 1, and then 3 double crochets on the single crochet of the previous round. Those 6 stitches, you're going to repeat them 20 more times, and see when we're at that point. The last couple of stitches of row 17, chain 1 single crochet in the chain space between the 2 double crochet of the previous round, chain 1, 2 double crochet on the double crochet of the previous round in 1 stitch. It's 1, and this is 2, chain 1 single crochet in the chain space, chain 1, and 2 double crochets, 2 half double crochets in the last 2 stitches. And this is the last row, so we're gonna fasten off. Voila, the bodice of the top. Now we're going to crochet all single crochets around the bodice. So we start on the left side of the top, on this side, down, under, right side up, and then fasten off. So we start with putting the wire on the left side. It's 30 stitches from this place, so 30 stitches, and in the 30th stitch we put on the wire. Make a loop, and then put the wire on the left side of the bodice. Now we're going to crochet all single crochet all the way around. Put a stitch mark in the first stitch, and then all the way around all single crochets, and I see you. And then on the others, on the bottom, in every stitch a single crochet, and on the right and the left side you have the same amount of stitches. So I see you when we're at this point. In the corners, in 1 stitch, you're going to crochet 3 single crochet to make the corner, and from now on it's the bottom. We're going to crochet in every stitch a single crochet. Last couple of stitches of row 18, last couple of single crochets, last one in the stitch where the stitch marker is, and we'll fasten off. So all single crochets all the way around the bodice. Voila! We're going to crochet the border along the décolletage neckline. And we start on the right side of the shoulder strap, on the inside of the right side of the shoulder strap. All single crochets downwards to the top of the cup, degrees, down degrees, up again to the left cup, degrees, and then upwards towards the inside of the left shoulder strap. So we get started. Make a loop. The inside of the right shoulder strap. Put out a stitch marker. And in that place we're gonna put on the wire. And in the same stitch we're gonna crochet a single crochet. And then put the stitch marker back again. Now downwards towards the top of the cup. In every stitch a single crochet. And I'll see you when we're at that next stitch marker. So in every stitch a single crochet. All the way down to the top of the cup in the next stitch marker. I crocheted 85 single crochets in total from the first stitch to the stitch next to the stitch marker. This is for the size that I need. The next two stitches you're going to crochet them together and then put the stitch marker back again. So stitch marker out, and then the first two stitches, first two loops, we're going to crochet them together and then put the stitch marker back again. Now we're going to crochet all the way down, but 2 stitches before the stitch marker we stop, because we're going to crochet those 2 stitches together. So in every stitch a single crochet all the way down. In my case is that, for the size that I need, is that 35 single crochet. See you when we're at that point. I just crocheted 35 single crochets. Now we're going to crochet the 2 stitches before the stitch marker, those 2, together. We take also the first 2 loops and crochet them together. Then the stitch with the stitch marker, just 1 single crochet, and put the stitch marker back again. Then the 2 next to it, also crochet 2 stitches together. So you pick up the 2 first loops and crochet them together. Now we're going to crochet 35 single crochets up, the same as we did on the right side. So 35 single crochets up, then crochet 2 stitches together. So all the way, all single crochets up to the next stitch marker. In every stitch a single crochet. And I'll see you when we're at that point. Now we're going to crochet the next 2 stitches together. Then again the first 2 loops, we're going to crochet them together. And put the stitch marker back. And now 85 single crochets all the way back up on the left shoulder strap. All single crochets all the way up. In my case 85 stitches, 85 single crochet, in every stitch a single crochet. So I see you when we're at that point. Almost there, the last stitch. And we're fast enough. I put the stitch marker back, the last stitch again. Row 2. Now we're gonna do exactly the same as we did in row 1. So we turn on the wire on the right shoulder strap, on the inside of the right shoulder strap. So make a loop. Turn the wire on. One single crochet in the same stitch. And stitch marker back in the stitch again. Now again 85 single crochets down to the middle of the top, down to the top of the cup. So in every stitch also a single crochet. And I see you when we're at that point. Now we're at the second stitch marker, this on the top of the cup. And we're going to crochet the stitch with the stitch marker and the stitch next to it together. So we decrease one. And pick up, put the stitch marker back again. Now 34 single crochets back to the middle of the cups. So not back, just forward to the middle of the cups. In every stitch a single crochet, and I see you when we're at that point. Just one stitch before the stitch marker, this one, we stop in that stitch. So stop before the stitch marker. We stop just before, one stitch before the stitch marker. Now we're going to crochet those 3 stitches. So this one, the stitch with the stitch marker and the stitch next to it together. So 3 stitches. We pick up the front loop of those 3 stitches. That's 1, 2, 3. We'll crochet them together. And then put the stitch marker back in that stitch again. This is the middle between the 2 cups. Now we're going to crochet 34 single crochets up to the next stitch marker. So in every stitch a single crochet. And I see you when we're at this point. I just crocheted 34 single crochets. Now we're going to crochet the stitch before the stitch marker and the stitch marker together, so degrees 1. I put the stitch marker back again. And now 85 single crochets up towards the left shoulder strap. In every stitch a single crochet. And see you when we're at this point. The last stitch. And fasten off again. Stitch marker back. So we're finished crocheting. Try on the summer top and measure how far you can fasten the shoulder straps, because sometimes the shoulder straps are a bit too long. I just turn my summer top, and then you can let them fall a little bit further behind the borders. So like this, if it's too long. And my daughter just tried on the summer top and holding the cups in place with her hands, so we could measure how long the shoulder straps are and where I can attach them to the bodice. These shoulder straps are just right, so I place them about 3.5 centimeters from the edge of the back of the bodice, and I attach them about this place. With needle and thread, we're going to sew them on the bodice. So let's start it. You put the summer top with the right side on the table. Right side. I've marked the places where I'm going to put on the shoulder straps and with stitch markers, but you can also use a pin. Take a needle and thread. We're going to sew the shoulder straps on this place. I think that's the wrong needle. I need a bigger one. This one. The stitch markers, you can put them out. Tied up the thread on the shoulder strap. Just another time. Yeah. This is how you're going to attach the shoulder strap on this place. And I see you again when we attached both shoulder straps at place. See you then. When you have sewed the shoulder straps on this place, now we're going to crochet the rings, these ones, and which we will later sew back into the open spaces of the bodice. I just crocheted one. We're going to sew these into those places in the bodice. Take a little piece of thread. I'm going to split them in two. And I roll with my finger towards the thread so it splits easily. And this is how you're going to work one thread in two threads. Now we have two of them. Use this one for another ring. I take a smaller crochet hook, 1.5 millimeters. It's not, yes, there it is. And we take a loop. The ring. Put your needle in the ring, pick up the thread, pull it through, crochet a single crochet. This is how you're going to work all the way around. So all single crochets around the ring. This is how you're going to crochet them. We need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 12 rings. So we're going to crochet 12 rings for the summer top. Push sometimes the single crochets on. So they sit nice and tight together around the ring. And see you when we're done crocheting. When you're at the end, put in the crochet hook in the first stitch and fasten off. So 12 of these rings. When you have crocheted the 12 rings, we'll sew them in the spaces at the back of the bodice. These places. I have some rings with enough thread to sew them on and a few don't. The one with the wire that's too short, like this one, first we have to split a thread again in two, and with the thread we're going to sew the rings into our work. So you're going to cut a piece of thread. We're gonna split them in two. And then with that thread we're gonna sew the rings into the places at the back of the bodice. So here we go. Oh no. Thread into the needle. First ring. Put the thread on. Put it tight. And then pick up the ring. Sew it in place. And this is how you're going to work every ring in every place. And I see you when we're have sewed those 12 rings into their places. I sewed in the rings. Then my daughter has put on the top. I just did that so I can measure how long the ribbon should be. I measured it with a piece of wire. I passed it crosswise through the rings and close it with a bow at the top. Now I'm going to crochet a chain with the length of that wire. So let's start. So we're going to crochet a chain in the length of that wire. Put on a loop. Now we're going to crochet a chain. And I see you when we have the length of that wire. I now have the length of the wire that I used to measure. So that's the wire that I used to measure, and when I put it next to the chain that I crocheted, it's almost about the same length. I just measured it also on the back of my daughter when she put on the top. And the length that I need is a chain of 472 stitches. It's about 77.95 inches. In centimeters is that 198. We're almost finished. You can also choose not to attach the shoulder straps at the bodice, but wear the straps in a bow behind your neck. I like this for the back, and you can also wear it like this. And I'm gonna sew the straps together, so it's gonna be crosswise on your back, and I like that effect. I just measured it when my daughter wears the top, and it's about 12 centimeters. I need stitch markers, about 12 centimeters of the back, so this and this. And now I'm gonna attach a stitch marker at the place where I'm gonna sew the straps together. And this this size I'm gonna count, so I have exactly amount of stitches at the back. It is about 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 24, 26, 28. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 24, 26, 28. You need a piece of thread and a needle. Put it in the stitch of the stitch marker. And we're gonna sew the straps together about five stitches. And the other strap in and the other stitch out. The two stitch markers, you can put it out of your work. Going back to the first strap and then put it in the stitch where you started with the thread, in and out. The otherwise in and out. Back again, in and out. The other side again, in and out. And now we have 1, 2, 3, 4. In and out. In and out. One, 2, 3, 4. No, another one. In and out. And one more time on the other side. In and out. Now you're gonna pull on the threads. This is how it's gonna look like. This is on the inside. Wave the thread ends in and your top is ready to be worn.